Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I am Starco Gaming and we are back with another Dragon Champion video. Guys, today we're going to be jumping on the test server and we're going to be guiding you guys through the Ember Flame event. So when it gets released tomorrow, you guys are ready to literally kill it. So the first thing, guys, about this event is that Ember is a 5-star unlock. So we're going to be doing 7 stars today, but if you are actually trying to push for the 5 stars unlock, all you need to do is the same team, similar build, and only have them at 5 stars, to be honest. And I think level 60 5-star will actually be enough, maybe level 70, but you don't need much more than that. And instead of having ability level 6, ability 5/4 is just good enough for Ember Force 5 stars. But in this video, we're going to be covering 7 stars because 5 stars characters pretty much nowadays is pretty much worthless in my opinion. Personally, I don't go for legendary events if I'm not going to get the characters to 7 stars because there's no point for me. There's nowhere I'm going to be using a character, so I rather to just save my mats, save my focus, and then when I'm ready to build a specific team for that legendary event, I build it for 7-star unlock. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to go through the team we're going to be using, and we're not going to be using a bunch of legendary or paywall characters. No, we're going to be using 1 semi-paywall characters and then 4 free-to-play characters in this team. And we're going to go through the build, through the runes, and then we're going to go into the gameplay section and kind of explain what is the skill priority, well, the kill priority on that legendary event, phase 7. But before we get into all that, guys, quick reminder, you see on the screen, but make sure to use the promo code STARCO if you are level 15 or below to get $10 worth of freebie. It helps you, it helps me, it helps everybody to do so. All you gotta do is go in settings and press use promo code, and you enter the promo code STARCO in there, and you're gonna get $10 worth of freebies. So let's jump in here. Let's set that to health so we can actually see the top 5 characters we're going to be using. Obviously, we're going to be using Nigel. Nigel is, in my opinion, the strongest elf, and everybody should be working on Nigel at this point in the game. So she's going to be the #1 character. She's also going to be the leadership of this team. Then we're going to have Count Delmon, which is actually the semi-paywall character in this group. Then we're going to have Sharp, Senjel, and Killian. To be honest, you could even go with 4 DPS in 1 tank. In this one, I don't actually think you do need a healer for this legendary event, but we're gonna go with the basic way, and you can definitely switch Senjel for Aluria. It does not matter. What's important is to build your tank properly. Have Nigel, Delmon, and Sharp together. They buff each other like crazy. When we go through the skills, you're gonna see it is ridiculous, and that is pretty much it. You get your buff rolling, you get your hits rolling, and you get your win and your 7 stars Ember pretty much. So let's start with the first one. We already did a character guide for this character, but pretty much this is not the optimal build for her. You better with 2 critical rate and 4 critical damage. But since we're playing her in the elf team, we're gonna go speed and critical rate because the elf team already provide critical rate and critical damage buff and damage increase buff, so she does not really need the extra critical damage. So the rune we're gonna get here is 4 speed, 2 critical rate. Primary here, you want speed, not accuracy. Primary here, you want a critical damage or critical rate, not damage, but damage can do the job too. In here, the last one here, you definitely want damage as the last primary because the damage is going to be the most important. Skill wise, our leadership is going to be the most important. The accuracy of ally elves increased by 20%. Upon landing, critical hit allies elves recover 10% of their maximum L upon landing. A fatal blow, ally elves recover 25% of their maximum L, and that's kind of why you don't really need to actually bring a healer with you. You already, every time you crit, every time you kill, you pretty much get a lot of healing. So having a healer it's not that useful, to be honest. So that is the leadership. If we look at the passive here, Nightjail removed one debuff from herself, and Salyus Balasius. Salyus is not in the team, so that's really important skill to actually have in the elf team. So I will not recommend getting that skill to level 6 if you are only playing Nightjail for that. For the legendary event, then you have the skills here. This skill is very, very important. That's the buff. Apply a damage increase to all allies for 2 turns. You want to get it to level 6. Very, very important. Those 2 other skills you can get to level 5 if you want to. They are not that important. Well, they do a lot of damage, but Nightjail is really that 3rd skill that will buff the whole team. But yeah, she will do a lot of damage with those 2 skills. So if you can get them to level 6, it's definitely worth it. And next characters, we have Count Delmon. Count Delmon, we're going to go with 4 speed, 2 critical rate on him. 1 net critical damage is pretty simple because we get some as a team bonus somewhere. I'm not sure if it's him or not, but yeah. So we're going to go in the skill in a minute here. First, we're going to go through the runes. So first primary, you want to go speed. Second primary, you want to go critical chance or critical damage. And third primary, you want to go damage. 2 critical rate, 4 speed. That's, in my opinion, the best setup for this guy in this team. If you look at his passive, you can see here, Killian gains 500 penetration if talent is in the ally. Count Delmon, well, we don't have talent, so this is not very, very important skill. And then you have this skill here. Count Delmon's gain dodge increase for 2 turns and recover 25% of his turn meter. And all ally gets critical damage increase for 2 turns. So this skill is very, very, very important to get up. This skill, the passive, is so not important. This is so not important if you're running without Talon and Lula. So the most important is this skill. Then you have this skill because you can actually decide who's going to be the tank in the opponent team, because you put Mark of Death, which is works like a taunt and does a lot of physical attack too, and actually avoid the targets to go invisible. So you know, you're going to have Kira in the other team, and if you want to avoid the targets you're targeting to actually go stealth with Kira, you use the ability on that specific target, and, well, you can keep killing the target. So a very, very, very important ability here. And then this ability is pretty much just basic damage, pretty good damage though, and 70% chance to increase the cooldown for a random ability. But yes, this guy is mostly for this buff that is very, very important. It actually does quite a good amount of damage too. I was actually quite surprised by him. Then you have Sharp. Sharp him, he's there for the critical rate buff. But before we get into that, let's go in the rune. The rune, I could have went speed and critical rate, but I really wanted to boost his damage as much as possible. So when he uses his triple hit skill, which is his second skill, can do as much damage as possible. So I went 2 critical rate and 4 damage as primary. We have speed, we have critical chance, and we have damage. It's really all about the damage with him for me in the build I have for him. If you look at the skills, you can see here, increase critical chance by 30%. So he gets a lot of critical chance. Obviously, that is his passive. Then you have here his third skill, which gain a critical chance increase and apply it to all allies for 2 turns, and Sharp gain a critical damage increase for 2 turns. So that is kind of why that it does not need critical damage. Damage is better for him, and it's going to do a lot of damage with all of that. And then this is the skill that you build all for it. So you want to get your buff on before you use that skill, so you can get 3 attacks, 150% of physical damage each hit. This is going to attack 3 times, and that will do a lot of damage. And that's why you build for more damage, because you already get the critical chance and the critical damage. So it's all about that. Which ability you should get to level 6 here? This one definitely, this one definitely, and this one. This one is not important at all. I have a chance to apply armor decrease, but you know, it's not that important, to be honest. So it's really about doing as much damage as you can with that second skill. So you build everything else around it to actually make that happen. And then the oh, we got 2 more. That one on the last. I don't know why. Okay, so here we got Senjel. Senjel will heal based on the damage, magic damage. So what's really important on him is to actually give him damage. You want him to have as high as possible magic damage on his statues. You can see here we got 3469. That's all that matter. And we give him 2 HP runes just so he has a little bit more survivability. And that's pretty much it. Primaries, first primary, you want speed. Second primary, you want damage. And third primary, you want damage. Like I said, it's all about damage on this guy. So we have the damage set, the HP set, and that is pretty much it. Now the skills you can see here. Nature Wisdom, very important to get up. Increase magic damage by 10% for each stack of regeneration on allies. So you will want to use, this skill on cooldown. This skill on cooldown so you can apply as much regeneration as possible, and then you want to blast this ability to do a lot of damage. You actually do quite a good amount of damage when you have all those regeneration up. So that is pretty much the way to play this guy. Keep those regeneration up on your target, and then use your first skill as a filler. I will have to say this skill is important to get to a level 6. This skill, I think that level 5 will actually be good enough, to be honest. This skills, level 6 is very important in this skills. Level 5 or level 6, the damage difference is not going to be that big. So it's really this skill and this skills that are very important to get to level 6. And the last one we have Killian. Killian is actually not a bad thing, guys. So we're going to go armor rune as much as possible on him. We're going to build him to take as much damage as possible. And that is pretty much it. So we're going to go 3 armor set. Primary, we're going to be using armor, and health. Those are 3 primaries we're going to be using. We want to make him as tanky as possible. We don't care about the speed. We don't care about the damage from this guy. We care about him taunting, keeping the taunt on as long as possible, so lower speed, and actually surviving all the hits he's going to be taking. That's what's important with him. If you look at his passive ability here, increase magic armor by 25%, an additional 5% for each living elf in the party. We're going to be 5 elf in this team, so he gets 50% magic armor plus the armor buff from the runes and all of that. So that gives him a lot of magic armor. So he's going to take a little bit more physical attack, but magic attack, he's going to have a crazy survivability. So this skill is literally the most important to actually get to level 6. This skill is nice, but not that important. I think this skill at level 5 will be great, but deal AoE damage and inflict armor decrease for 2 turns, which is actually not that bad. Then you get a taunting ability, gain taunt and tenacity increase for 2 turns, remove 2 debuffs and recover 25% HP. So I think that'll actually be important to get this ability to level 6, but level 5 could do the job too. And then you have the first ability. The first ability is not that important. Deal 180% physical attack to an enemy if the target has the lowest health of their party. This attack is guaranteed to land a critical hit, which guarantees him to actually retrieve a little bit of HP from the Nigel passive. And that is pretty much it, guys. That is how you build, how you set up those characters. Those, I think, is a very, very solid team and a very easy team to actually recruit for the Ember event. That's actually on my personal account, on my real account. This is the team I'm going to be going around for the next time the event is around. I've been building for Renara, for Mordoom and for Solius right now, so I'm not focusing on Elf, but next time they come around, this is going to be a team similar to that I'm actually going to be doing. Okay, so now that we talk about the characters, guys, we're going to jump right away into the gameplay section where we get to kill Ember, stage 7. Here we go. We are in the character selection. You can see the party level is a little bit 110,000 BP, BP. Let's call it PP. So it's nothing crazy. You know, it's not 130. It's not 125. It's only 109, 550. So 109,550. So it's not that great. And that shows that if you bring the proper team, if you build them properly, you can actually achieve greatness. And most of them only have 3 stars rune, which is actually something that a lot of people do have in the inventory, 3-star rune. So you don't need anything crazy, to be honest. So let's jump and let's take a look at the kill priority we're going to be doing in this video. I try a few things, you know, off video to make sure that I was coming with a proper strategy. And the best killing order I got so far was to kill Venomate first, then Kira second, and then Zentera third. And after that, we just finished the rest pretty much. That was what gave me the the best run so far. So this is what we're going to try again in this video. You can see here we use buff, and then we start attacking Venomate, and you can see even the damage from Senjel is actually pretty great on that shield. Here we're going to go with the taunt, obviously, so we can take as many hits as possible. You can see he is having good resistance here. We're going to drop that. We're going to drop the little ability here, so we don't go too crazy. Here, I should be applying regeneration, but I want to get my damage as early as possible on Kira, so we're going to go with that. We're going to go with that. We got great crits, and we're going to finish that there. And that is pretty much a guaranteed win, 3-star win at this point, because all the damage is gone. Yes, Mega Wheel and Puncher Face can do a little bit of damage, but not that crazy. So next we're going to be killing the healer if Mega Wheel let us. If not, we're going to kill Mega Wheel and go back to the healer pretty much. So we get ability block here. Now we're going to start applying that regeneration to increase the damage of my Senjel pretty much. Here we're going to apply this AoE, defense down pretty much everybody, which is going to help us a little bit. We're going to apply more regeneration now, which is going to do plain damage. You should see a difference, that damage. Yes, that damage is a lot better. Then it's time to start reapplying the buff. Oh, I actually die here. This guy took a lot of damage and got some shit applied to him. So you can see here, oh, we're going to taunt up, maybe not. Oh, and we can heal ourselves, so we're going to be fine. So it was close, actually not get a 3-star kill here. But now it is pretty much over. You can see the damage is crazy. It is easy. We keep applying that regeneration. That heal is good enough for what we need. And that should finish it. And boom, under 110,000 team power, and we got this done very, very, very easy. And if we look at the damage done here, you can see Delmon is the star, and Delmon and Sharp are actually the star of this fight. So those are actually your two biggest damage dealer, and you saw the way I built them. It was really, really important the way I built them to make that possible, because you need them to crit as much as possible. That is literally what is the most important. So guys, if you have any question, feedback, comment, make sure to use the comment section down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can, guys, to answer your comment. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video if you enjoyed the content. We release Dragon Champion content on a regular basis, 2 to 3 video a week. So make sure to enable the bell to get notified when we release a Dragon Champion video, guys. So thank you for watching. Good luck to everybody in their Ember Flame event, and hopefully I'll get to see you guys again in the next video. Thank you.